pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to open the meeting this evening by apologizing for the ugliness that we've been seeing around town with us. I know it's disturbing, and I hope that the board of trustees can all tolerate it and just keep focused on what we need to get done. But enough said there. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? And any remarks you have about the minutes, anything you need changed? I want to remind the board that sometimes minutes are read at a meeting, but because we do give our minutes out prior to the meeting, everyone has a chance to review those and look them over and make any suggestions or changes that need to be done, and hopefully we'll have that done before the meeting. If not, we can still do it at this time, either by marking out or asking Claudia to rewrite and give us a new set of minutes. May I have a motion to approve June 11th, 2024 meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, everyone had a chance to see the draft of the bills, and then I passed out the finals this evening to you from your draft. And your draft says draft, and you'll see the same one as March. I think it's okay. Any questions on the bills? No? Does everyone agree with that, or should that come out of the general fund? How did the baseball account come about?
I don't agree with that. I think that money is to be used, that was collected by profits from the concession stand and donations to start up the concession stand again. So if they start up again, then they're going to need that money to stock the concession stand and just kind of have a starting balance.
Okay.
And that's the way I remember it being established back over the years, and it was established before I was on the board.
That money donated.
Yeah, at one time they wanted to use some of that money to cut down a tree at the baseball park, and we voted against that because that's just not what it's for. That building belongs to the town, and it should come out of the general fund or the park fund.
Council, keep it up.
I will make sure that is it was a very small amount. And I know that the stuff that we had bought before, like the large lumber from Menards and the bigger bills, did come out of the general fund. So I'm surprised, but I didn't get back thinking correctly. Okay. I know our board members here this evening do not remember too much about it, but back in 2000, maybe Chris would recall, 2016 and early 17, the sewer lagoon had a lot of trouble and went through quite a bit of funds back then, and I believe the accounts were depleted. The auditor is having some difficulty. They're seeing something that, budget on 21 that is posted on the, what do you call that, Claudia, when it's just a graph? It's a
Trial balance?
trial balance. And so I do think it's a clerical error on the, yeah. So I am looking into that, but that is backing us up a little bit on that audit. And as soon as I can get more clarification on that, I'm working with Wilcox and Lorraine Gardner to try to figure out where that happened. It was in QuickBooks, and we did not have QuickBooks until Lorraine started our program.
Okay.
So,
I know we had discussed that, and we thought maybe it just got put in the wrong column.
yes. And they're prepared to take care of it, funding problems that they had then.
We had to rent do you remember that, Stacy? We had to rent all just portable pumps that were on the back of a big truck. We had to rent the truck and all the portable pumps.
Oh my gosh.
And this went on for months while we were waiting to get the grant, and we were just so close to getting that grant. We were in like stage 3 or 4 when the state of Illinois shut down, and so luckily we had the money to go ahead and move things around and get it, but there was enough money in sewer to pay for it.
Have a water report there that you can give us?
Yeah, today, it looks like we're 0.6, I think, at City Hall, and 0.8 at the tower, 1.8 at the tower. The level is 119. Everything's been looking real good. I appreciate you communicating with me, and welcome aboard. Glad to have you.
Well, I'm changing the way we do the mix. It's still a 3-5, but it's no longer guesswork. I'm measuring 3 gallons into a bucket before I put it in, instead of just putting the hose in there and letting the pump run up till what looks like the line, and then unplugging the pump, and you still have chlorine running in. So it's not been a measured mix. It's kind of been hit and miss. So it's going to be a 3-5 mix every time now.
Okay, sounds good.
So it should start balancing out.
Things have been really consistent, and I know everybody does things a little different, but as long as everything has been staying consistent.
And I flushed Jack and Sherry's hydrant out there, so that moved a lot of chlorine, and then when I quit, it felt like my water does.
Yeah.
But they don't use much
Ours was a
water.
little chlorine here yesterday and today too.
Did they fill the pool this year, Chris, do you know?
I don't think they did.
Okay. I didn't get a report that they did, and I just wanted to be aware. I drove out, but no one was home for me to ask.
But there's not been any real high readings lately, so I think they left water in theirs, but I don't think they've done anything with it this year.
Okay. Thank you. At this time, I'll open the floor for any public comment.
I heard Chris say that the fire department's gonna flush the hydrants.
Yep, on the 21st, if they get enough people, they're gonna go around. And the reason they're doing this, with the fire department doing it, is they have ISO insurance from the state of Illinois, and when they go around and flow test the hydrants, if we've got enough pressure and volume, that keeps the star rating down as far as your house insurance and everything else. The rating the fire department gets in this area is a big...
If his house ever catch fire, my gosh, we won't have any water.
Oh, we'll have water.
Well, I know that, I mean, anyway.
Honestly, they're not going to park a truck right there by his house anyway.
No.
So we'll go to the next one and run water with the hose.
One more thing, Slaughter, just wanted to follow up. I got a text message from Zoella her said that they didn't use the water bill and she tried to reach out and never did get a response, and she just wants to know how to get it.
Did she leave a message here at City Hall?
She
No.
didn't say, she just said maybe she called you, texted you.
Okay. Okay, Claudia, if you'll make a note of that, we'll get ahold of Lorraine and get one sent to her tomorrow. And we'll be sure to waive any late fees that might be due to it.
With the water,
Mm-hmm.
every time they went up to the trailer park and shut off somebody's water, and this was after Donald quit, and they still had leaks and water on the ground and everything. I talked to Donald the other day, and they weren't getting shut off.
Were they not getting capped? You know, like,
Well, if the meter's still in there, they were just shutting them off,
uh-huh.
and even with the plugs in them. Those have double risers. If there's a place for a lock on the riser, it's a quarter turn. If there's no lock on that meter to put a padlock,
Mm-hmm.
it's 180 degree shut off. Melbourne Hornbeck came back by the park the other day when I was over there and made the comment, I figured they'd shut my water off since I didn't pay my bill.
Oh, I see.
And me and Rick shut it off.
Uh-huh.
But we only did a quarter turn.
Uh-huh.
So he still had half the flow of water coming in, which I took care of that today. It's off.
Okay.
Because I didn't know if he paid anything or not.
Not to my knowledge.
But it is off now.
Okay. I'll follow up with Lorraine closely on that because as soon as he does pay it, we'd like to get a turn back on. I know he sometimes has to wait till like the third of the month because of.
But that's already passed.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm surprised. Probably because he had a little bit of water today, he felt like he had a little break. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stay on that with Lorraine.
But in order to get to the shut-offs with the lock, you're going to have to get some post-toe diggers up there and dig way down.
There's a second shut-off valve, isn't there? On the ones at the trailer park?
We're
I think-
shutting off the top one.
Yeah, yes, uh-huh.
You can't get to the bottom one.
Yeah.
They were just so deep that they put a double riser on it,
Yeah,
and they put the locking one on the bottom.
okay.
So now if something gets shut off, it'll actually get shut all the way off.
Mhm. Now, I understand that you and Rick worked on replacing some of the risers, with those metal lids that we had bought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I still need to get some paint because I don't think they're going to last long underground without being painted.
Yeah, and that is on your list for me, right, over here?
No, I talked to you about that one.
Yeah, you did. That's right. Would you like paint on that for me, please, so I remember? I'm in the process of getting the name put on at Rural King and Menards and RT Lumber so that you will be able to make purchases also. Within reason, we talked about that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to build something when I get time. I'll show you. Let me grab a couple of them.
Okay. Thank you.
What was the date that the hydrant flushing, was that the 21st?
The 21st you said? Okay. Which I don't think that we'll be doing our culverts any quicker than that, so that probably won't be any problem for us.
Okay. I got to make sure I got a good meter, which these are ones we pulled up there, and these are low reading because they've never been used before.
Uh-huh.
But get a good one and just put it on, make a stand. And I got to get some fittings to fit these to go from the garden hose to the meter, and then a garden hose to that meter. So this is a good meter. I can test all these meters out here because
Right.
they pull one, they put it on the shelf, and it's with all the good ones and all the bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
So until I get it tested, I don't know which one's a good match.
Okay.
But that'll be the simplest way, just get some fittings and a couple of.
And you'll be able to find those supplies that you need there at Rural King, right?
Yeah, I
If we
looked
don't
through
have it
these
in there,
shelves.
then you didn't find anything more, okay,
No, because it's gonna have to go from this to garden hose fittings,
all right.
or I can make something out of it. But that way we can put the bad ones to do whatever they do with them.
While
I
we're,
really have no way to.
while we're
know
still
what's
on
in
this,
that.
I also want to mention that, Rick would bring some of his tools over and use, because they were better than what we have. And, when he left, we brought some tools up too, and then, so Chris was found that there's some things that he needs, and I do have a list, and I do plan to get them at, Harbor Freight. They're reasonable for what he's asking for. And, then, another thing that he's asking for is, let's let him go first.
That is what you ordered to pick up the barrels.
That's what Rick ordered to pick up the barrels.
Okay, that's great. It hooks on there, locks on,
And then that was on the tractor,
but I can get the tractor in that corner there.
that building. Yep.
So, you have to decide if you're gonna keep that building, put a bigger door in it, or what. Or we can get a 1,000-pound chain hoist off the internet. Probably wouldn't be $50. I ain't looked at them yet.
Okay.
But put a 2-inch pipe from wall to wall with the ceiling. Then I can pick this up with, pick the barrel with the hoist and put it over the crane.
Yeah.
Because 600-pound barrels is gonna hurt.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I agree. With the grant, we're hoping to rebuild the building for the flooring mixing and get things closer together also. And then it will also have a self-sustained wall flooring so that we don't have to worry about
Don't have to worry about the
secondary
barrels,
containers.
but
Right.
still need to be able to live.
Yeah. And that was our quick fix for EPA guidelines this summer.
Yeah.
But that isn't on our long-term plan. Okay?
Let me just throw that one fire extinguisher.
That'll be fine, yeah. We got it, one small fire extinguisher.
Ross Madden put it in here.
Yeah. And of course, you know, we got new ones many years ago.
Yeah.
One thing Chris did point out to me is that, you know, that those fire extinguishers are supposed to be checked monthly.
Yes, they do have a monthly inspection tag.
Yeah. And I know Campbell comes in once a year and does their part, but yeah, they should be marking on it every month.
Yeah, I did them this month up to the shelter house and in here and out there.
Okay.
I don't know if there's one in the office or not, but
Okay. We had some welding that needed to be done, and we still do on the lift basket. And now Chris, he has a welder at his home that he welds, and him having to bring that up here to do the job, I think is unnecessary. I think that there shouldn't be any question asked if we need him to take a product down there to weld together, a broken basket or whatever it might be, especially if he's willing to do it with his equipment for us. And this is on, you know, on the clock. It's not like we're asking him to do it off, you know, contracted him to do it. So by all means, I don't have any problem with him taking that to his shop to weld something for us. Okay.
well, as far as the tractor, I could raise the bucket with it the way it was, but it was better to leave it on the floor and weld it where it was.
Yes, okay.
Without breaking anything, because if it would have broke on the other side too, all them lines, everything would have just dropped to the floor.
Okay. I just wanted to point that out though, because, you know, we've heard this before about somebody parking town equipment on their property and so forth. Well, sometimes that's gonna be necessary. And I don't have a problem with that. We're such a small community and.
It's a lot cheaper for Chris to do it, I don't mean anything by that, than to call Washington out here and have him do it. It's gonna cost you $200.
And of course, we can try our best to supply what he needs to do it with.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so.
And as far as the tools that I got on that list,
Uh-huh.
nothing expensive, nothing fancy, but we've got pegboard, need to get some different pegs that actually fit, and I'll either paint or trace the tools. That way if there's one missing, you can look at it and say, well, that's not there, where to go.
That's a good idea. You need the big kind or
Yeah,
the
that's
little
good.
kind to fit the hole?
3-inch or 4-inch, which Rick said he's got a bunch of them over there if I wanted any, but now he's not here anymore.
Yeah, but he might be
Some
willing to
of
let
them,
it
so I'm
go
not
at
sure.
garage door price. He does a lot of that,
Yeah,
auction buying.
Yeah, he does.
but I don't know what size he's got,
Yeah.
but for a wrench, you only need a small peg, because you're not hanging anything else on it. That's what I got at my shop.
If you got a sample, you might, if somebody's going somewhere, you might give them, this is what I need.
I've got a few pictures that he showed me that it's on my list. My next day off isn't until Friday. And then Herschel called today and we have a play this Friday morning, but
He told me today too.
see? Uh-oh. Okay.
About the truck.
The other thing I have down here that I need to talk about is that, phone for village employees, we don't want him to have to be using his personal phone, for business, but yet, you know, he's on call 24 hours a day, and he's not gonna come into City Hall of a late afternoon and check things. When he leaves for the day, he's done. But if he is going to be getting a call from us, maybe that is something we want to look into, giving him a personal cell phone. Plus, we do know that Julie did.
Well, talk and text, no internet, no nothing.
Yeah.
And it's mainly 'cause if my phone gets FOIA'd to see what city business is on it,
It will.
then that's my
Trust me, it
business
will.
phone. That's how my kids get a hold of me,
Sure.
and it would cause a big issue between me and whoever did it.
Okay.
Well,
And
I've said this all along, that I think that you need a city issue phone as well. You do so much on your phone, and I don't think that you need to do that. So I don't have a problem with,
well,
Getting
the only thing I do on my phone is a separate email account. That's all I do on my phone. Of course, people do try to call. I don't have my number out there for the public. And I do check City Hall every day, and then they relay messages about something I need to respond to.
so, yeah, I've always been for that. Yeah.
Does anyone know about Frontier, if they offer a line? Yes, I saw something advertised about that. They offer a line with your home phone.
Well, I don't have a home phone, it's not with Frontier.
Well, I know, but because we have a line,
Internet here.
a line that comes in like this.
Yeah, I don't know that Frontier does cell phones.
Recently I saw something, maybe Claudia, if you could help me try to find out something about that. But that is something I wanted to tell the board that I would be, investing in also, is the phone for the employee as well as some tools. And then, the black road pack we have out here that we moved off of Main Street, we were trying to clean that up and put it down here. When we had that moved, they found that it was really not workable. It's not usable at all. So at this point, I think that we need to go ahead and discard it. We do have some places that we could put it, but it won't be.
It'll be filler, not road patch.
Yeah, it's just it's not even worth using to actually patch our road.
Well, it's been roll over, trees roll over.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like better than 10 years old. I mean, it's worthless.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot older than that.
Yeah.
And there's also a pile up at the back of the park. It's been there
That's
for...
right. He did try to, Rick worked on that as much as he could, but again, same situation.
It's gonna take a big tractor to get that. It's been up there 20 years.
I might ask the same gentleman that helped me out on that.
Leland.
Yeah, Leland Marriott, and see if he would go down there and tighten, break that up for me and see if we can't get that moved also.
Where's that?
In the park,
Yeah.
the back part of the park. Why it ever got stored there, I'm not
didn't know
sure.
it was there.
Yeah.
It is.
And we've got more to talk about with the park, and we'll see how that's necessary to be getting that out of there.
Right.
Do you need to take a vote to authorize Chris to take some equipment home to work on it, so that we have that in the minutes that he's authorized to do that?
Yeah, 'cause if
I
I was to...
disagree. I think we need some kind of record to say Chris has had permission to take village equipment to his
Well, let's
house.
just put it in the minutes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
We don't
Permission
need-
granted then?
Well, and the fact that I'm bringing it to your attention and speaking about it, it's going to be in the minutes.
Oh, okay,
That
okay,
it's been authorized.
okay.
And I mean, if I had to, if you would like, I could get it on the next month's agenda, we can take it to a vote, but for the fact that my authority says that.
You know what I'm talking about. I don't want them,
Yes, I understand, so what I'm trying to explain is that I have the authority to say that this is what we're doing with
my
it.
money's on you, kid.
Okay.
Well, the only way I gotta look to change blades on these mowers down here is if I just took the tractor up and
Yeah.
picked the front of the mower up.
Yes.
If I take it up there, I got air tools to take the
You can
blades
lift it.
off,
Mhm.
lift it
Yeah.
up, whatever.
Well, we have to use some common sense here. Yeah, no, I mean.
That is not allowed in the United States anymore.
Common sense?
We're running dry on that.
I'm still all for it.
And one more thing on the road pack.
Uh-huh.
I was advised that the EPA will make you take it back out of the potholes if they find there's diesel in it. Leon was present during that conversation, which was a civil conversation,
Yeah.
which,
I don't know if that's.
I think that I have been told about the guidelines that we don't put diesel on it and this and that. But there is a proper way to loosen it, and to my knowledge, we've always followed these guidelines.
the putting diesel in it, and because of who told me, I would say if diesel is smelled in the area, then it,
Well, I didn't think we were using it now.
Yeah.
well, I'm just saying, somebody said that,
Okay.
and
We had it broken out, is what we did. Okay,
But we're not actively using it anymore.
We had no proof of what he was talking about, other than what's coming out of his mouth.
right, but,
And the last thing we need is the EPA or somebody on our butt, what did you put in that? So we can do it.
yeah,
Just saying.
so it's
Yeah,
actually
well,
good advice.
I will tell you that I had Leo and Mary come and break it, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Has Leland signed a
That's
volunteer?
up on the edge of the park.
Actually, I believe he was contracted, he charged us for an hour.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'm talking about. That's as long as the golf cart, and but that's how deep it is. This is all up by that well house. And I know some of them people drive like maniacs on the park road, but some of them don't. So it's still, they need to be fixed. Some of them you wouldn't be able to drive the golf cart through them.
Or if their trailer parked down, they'll swallow a whole car.
Trailer park,
Yeah.
Well, and the only part of that trailer park that we're responsible for is the curve on this side, on the east side of the park.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about the paved part? Did you talk to Dustin?
No, I haven't talked to Dustin, in front of the school.
Well, there's one in front of the school that would swallow a car, but up there going to the well house, up to the edge of the property on the well house, that's city on the paved
It's
part.
within city limits.
It's part of it.
That Hill Street at
How was that?
West Hill Street,
Road pack, or that,
I believe it's county maintained, but I will go check with him. Cause even when we do the railroad street, it's only out to the fourth pole. You know, so I still think that's the predicament I would get into there. Now, since, we've already discussed that rock or patch that we had, it needs to be discarded because it's not usable. I
Right.
don't have a problem with putting that there.
well, I could use it on the gravel part
It's to be
too,
taken
on the
away.
curb.
Yes.
But it's not gonna be a fix, it's just a filler until it gets fixed.
And then we can get that in the budget for, to redo that road, out of not going to the taxpayer.
Right. But if I get the big holes filled in with this stuff, then if they dump rock on that curve, it's not just filling in the holes,
Well-
it's actually,
Yes, and then I think that when, we've already got it approved on those fuel tax money to, what roads we're fixing and what road tax we may have left over, then we can take up and put it on top of that. We won't be chip and sealing that, but we can put, road tax on top of whatever's been filled in, once you
Right.
put the filler in. Okay?
If it's city, if it's a city.
yeah, we'll have to find out from,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't use that. And
No.
we
Well,
can't
and-
use any of that on the park road either. We
Well,
use it all
I
for
think that when I
children.
actually, aliquot my payment, I can aliquot motor fuel tax for the portion that they're using in town, and then buy it outright out of general fund for that.
Yeah.
It would be, maybe a fourth, maybe even less than that, of the actual, amount that I would need for that area, that would come out of general fund. I am looking into getting a digital flooring reader. I looked into it last year and it's a little pricey. We did buy another of the eye, just the manual read, but I think a digital reader is needed, and so I'll be looking into that for the water system, for reading chlorine. Kelly, the U.S. Blue Book will probably be getting that from. Lift station basket, we've been working with that for a while. I have not been able to find another one. I reached out to a welder to see if they could weld it, and they did not want to have anything to do with it.
Because it's stainless.
Chris was taking a look at it, and what are your suggestions now on that, Chris?
Well, you're probably not going to find anybody that'll make one out of stainless, but 1/4-inch rod, make the basket. It'll last 10 years at least.
Right now, the basket has the grooves that it goes in on the side, and that's part of the problem, right? Because those have been
They're
broken off.
gone. There's one left.
So how will we manage that? Will we have to make a new inset for
No.
that?
No.
Okay.
Just have to put 2 strips of steel down the side and weld the little C's. They're not loops, they're just C's, so you can take it in and out. And that just lets it go down to the bottom where it's supposed to be. And I put that on that drawing there in the measurements.
Yes, sir. All righty.
Have you checked with Stafford? Because at the time they put in those pumps and the whole electrical panel and all that down there, they said that they had anything that we would need
Any
down
size
there.
basket? Okay, we'll contact
Well,
them.
they didn't specifically say basket, but they supply anything that we needed down there.
Okay.
Nick's don't weld stainless.
Over in Poseyville?
Yeah.
Well, they might. I've been getting a lot of advertisements from them like it would, but we can check and see if they have these dimensions that he's written down here. But if it's something that he can weld on, I don't see the problem. We just buy what we need for him to do the welding.
There's just not...
It's gonna be expensive if you make it out of stainless, period.
Well, the basket we have, you think it's not fit?
It's not fit. It's...
fit. Okay.
I think I got a couple of pictures.
I'll get
It's been a few years, but that's when we bought all that from them.
Not very
They had
flattering
everything
pictures,
that we
but-
needed down there.
Yeah.
It's all been,
I can get some prices
most
on that.
of those rods
And
are
if it's
gone,
above,
which that's the bottom of the
you know, a
basket.
decent spending level, then I will have to bring
All
it to
the
the board
pieces
next
going
month
this way
and
are
get
gone, and they're
approval on
staying
it.
off there.
Okay?
These little,
Yeah.
are supposed to be
How big you talking? 4 foot tall?
no, 22 inches
22 inches tall?
by 14.
Oh, well.
Well, because it still has to do what it has to be to do the job.
Yeah.
I know, but you're not talking.
It's all been
And what was this picture taken?
When? Monday when I checked the.
Well, it's pretty dirty. Didn't I just change the week before?
Oh, yeah, it did. And
Okay.
it catches quite a bit, but I took the picture before I got my hands in.
Well, sure you did. Yeah.
I didn't want to touch my phone after that.
The few times I was manually cleaning, I was keeping it pretty good.
Yeah.
But maybe it wasn't catching either.
But see, all the pieces going this way are gone, except those two. And then you got these, and they're just hanging off there. And then there's one of those catches there, so you're just taking your chances on where it's gonna
That's a
be
good
now.
thing call Nick.
Pardon me? Call Nick.
I would.
And then,
It'll outlast me and you.
yeah. And then you could Stratford, or to help with that one. Okay, we'll get some prices from them. And I'll
Well, I mean,
send you
same
the
steel
information.
lasts a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it did look a lot better than that when I put it back in.
I'm sure it did. Okay, okay,
That's through the phone. His phone's gonna have to take pictures as well.
Well, every phone made takes pictures now.
Do they? Okay.
and, yeah, I guess they do, and they have to. But I'm also thinking that because of that Julie, and there will be emails from them and submit, that and he would have Wi-Fi capability here. We don't necessarily have to buy data for it.
Right.
But,
Yeah, it connects right to the.
you connect with Wi-Fi here and do the job that's necessary here at City Hall. Seeing that he does spend more time here than what the average would.
Okay.
So,
I try not to. I'm not gonna get to mowing down all this rain.
oh, I know. And Chris did report to me today that the sewer ponds are low enough now that if we do get the rain, that they are saying that we're still gonna be pretty good standing there.
Yeah,
right?
and I can go out and open the valve if it does get that high, but
Yeah.
it
How like those
shouldn't.
new valves?
They work a whole lot better than the old ones, but
Yes, sir.
it's still 1950s stuff. They put in the same kind that was already in it.
All right, let's see, we've got, any other reports from trustees?
We had 2 people use the shelter house, and we put in the second, a lot of people who have
Write that
jumped.
down.
We've had a lot of people who have jumped on board and want to come.
So the community meeting, is that, what will you call it?
That'll be the 16th.
Bellmont.
Well, you might have, I mean, it'd be more than just Bellmont people coming, but.
It is,
Um,
and that's what I was gonna point out. I mean, I have people come in who don't live here, who play ball here. Damon put a comment up there one night, and I piggybacked it, and we have all these people. We'll help. And we have a good cross-section of people. I mean, we have men to do the, the things that we're gonna need the muscles for, and then we have ladies willing to jump in and help.
Okay,
So,
and that's to get the ballparks up and ready so that kids can start practicing now?
well,
A wonderful idea is, who's gonna schedule it?
well, we're gonna have to put together a board again, like the Belmont Area Baseball Association, that you think, Peggy,
Yeah.
and have officers.
It would be, the board solution is separate from the trustees and mayor. They just been trying to give them free rein. They do hold meetings, they do keep minutes. And basically just let the town know if they need anything, which we usually don't need anything from the town.
And I figured, like, instead of me being on the board, I could just be a liaison and go to the meetings,
Right.
Then if they did have a question
That's a
for us,
good
then I
idea.
could bring it back to the board, that, they would take care of all
I
that.
think in all the years I was involved with the baseball, the only time we went to the board is when we needed new lights. And,
Yeah,
we actually hadn't made enough money with the baseball park concession to pay for half, and the town paid for the other half. But very rarely do you need input from the village board.
so that goes right into the grant. I really don't want the grant to cover anything at the baseball field, because if they do, we cannot charge tournament fees.
Mean what?
We can't charge tournament fees.
Oh.
So I think we need to do as much of that as we can, because if we can't charge tournament fees, I mean, we're gonna have expense with lights and equipment and umpires and that kind of thing. So we have to be able to make some money, which the concession stand does, I'm sure.
And when we met with, who'd we meet with the other day? There was some question about that. There's also part of the, grant thing that says that it can cover fencing.
Well, I read,
Yeah, so that's questionable.
right, but then I understood then if they would take grant money, then say work on that fence, so we wouldn't be able to charge anything for use of the field.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So,
Is that just for so long, or is that for,
he didn't say, did he? He just said you wouldn't be able to charge tournament fees
Yeah.
if we redid your baseball.
yeah. Well, basically looking into all that,
Well, it is. Yeah, 'cause I have a couple of guys, well, one guy, his dad actually ran the place like 40, 50 years ago, and he helped him, and I've got like 2 or 3 other former baseball players, and they're like, yeah, we'll come get ready to go, and so.
Did you have a time for that to start?
What do you think, 6:30 or 7? Probably 7. That's what I think, a lot of people work, I'd say 7 o'clock.
7.
And then I
7
think,
p.m.
and I think we'll do it at the shelter house, because then if people, they kinda
Yes.
wanna, look at the field or see what we're,
Yeah. What day is that on?
that'll be next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Okay. I'll try to get up there and get some work done too, and so check some stuff out. Alrighty, and now the grant, you and Claudia have started the process of, paperwork on that there, you've met with the engineers, and what was the percentage of was it a 100% grant?
Yes.
It is now for 25.
Okay,
Last year it was 90%, but since we're in a distressed area, it'll be 100% now.
okay. What was
He had, and he brought us like a Google map, and he had plotted out like a walking area all the way around the park. Perfect, what is it, quarter mile around there, and
Yeah,
talked about
handicap
restrooms and
parking.
toys, and even handicap toys as well, so.
Oh, okay.
Used to be a hot spot.
It really did. It really did. And I think we've got people excited and wanna make it go, and, yeah.
Did you help 12 years ago when we went over there and,
Yep, I did.
okay, is this going to be Bellmont Baseball, or is it gonna be Bellmont Area Baseball
I
Association?
think we're gonna call it Bellmont Area Baseball Association.
That is the one what they used last time,
Uh-huh.
which is a completely different bank account and everything, and it was completely separate from Bellmont.
Absolutely.
So you might,
Yeah.
and
I think
I think
still
there's
have
still
that
$1,400 in that
SEIN number.
account.
I don't know if it's still good, but I may have that SEIN number for the Bellmont Area Baseball.
Now, is that what you guys called it when you did it in
The
the early
Bellmont Area
90s?
Baseball Association, but yeah, it's a separate checkbook and a tax
What-
number and a separate board of directors.
Well, there's 2 of them, because I've got the bank account for the one that they started 12 years ago,
Right, when Rhonda started
Yeah.
it up, yeah.
and then everybody just walked away and nothing ever.
And then the one here is the remainder of the money that Judy turned over from the concession.
That's what I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's 2 separate
Yes.
baseball deals.
And maybe started maybe Halloween.
Yeah.
That was something.
And if it gets
Didn't work very well.
if it gets started and going good, 12 years ago there was a checkbook for this account, and may just combine it all the money together, because it's just been sitting in the bank for the last 12 years.
Well, if that's what it was for, the ballpark, I guess it probably should be combined, maybe.
Well, it was started, so it
Or was
wasn't
it for the
part
whole
of
park?
the, no, it was just strictly the baseball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know there
So
was
when we think
anything
about the
left
park,
on
I think
that.
it's the shelter house account that takes care of the park.
Yeah.
Okay, did everybody get a chance to see the budget for 2025?
Mhm.
Did everybody get a copy, Claudia? I think my
Yes.
copy was here at City Hall, and I didn't get a chance to review it closely enough. You and I
On the
did.
desk.
Yes, I saw it when I got here this evening. Any questions on it, any recommendations?
What about, you didn't really, there's certain steps that you have to follow to, do the grant, and one of the things that you have to do for, like, the grant for the park and the other grant for the water system, is that you have to hold a public meeting and
right.
have, public discussion and, comments and things like that. And, Rex thought it would be a good idea if we made up a flyer to go in the, water bill, to go to all the customers, so that we could get their input that way too. Otherwise, we have to do some other kind of instrument to get people's opinion. But we need to figure out, and the main thing is that you get people's support, because that's the main thing. If we have a lot of support, and you say we have 75% support from the water customers or whatever, then that's a good thing. So, and you word it so, would you like to have an improvement at the park? Would you like to have handicapped restrooms at the park? Would you like to have handicapped parking at the park? Would you like to have a pickleball court at the park? Would you like to have these things? So that people will probably say yes, and then you can say we have 95% yes.
Agreed that they want to move forward.
So rent can produce trucks to follow. And so that does, so may I have a motion then to, approve the, consideration of the grant for the park, for us to go ahead and start the steps to follow?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alrighty.
So then do we call Rex now?
Rex
We'll need to-
Gower and Lee Beckman are the same engineering company that we're using to help, with our, water replacement grant,
Right.
and they have, offered to,
Okay.
yeah.
We're gonna move forward.
And then at that time, we would have to write an ordinance or a resolution at that time of the steps, outlining the steps for all of us to read and understand. And then we will take a vote on, so right now, we're just saying, yes, let's consider it. But as far as the, paperwork, it will be when we move forward.
Is that map that he made here at City Hall, or
Yeah, I believe it's still in there on the desk.
let me get that?
Yeah, she'd like to show
Really
that.
neat. We talked about putting some natural areas in. The walking path that he sketched out was 6 feet wide. And so that would go all the way around the park.
Yeah, and that's wheelchair, that's what
Yes.
it's good. Yeah. You talk about anything about, bike trails or anything?
No, we didn't talk about that. We talked about having like some nature areas. The one thing you could put that they love is if you would put, of all things, a bat house. Yeah, it is a beautiful park.
Well, if you go by some other small areas, you can see how much they really
Oh,
improved.
yeah.
Where was it? Is it in the garage?
I'm sorry, I don't see that. Here's,
Oh, okay. It was in an envelope that said map, Claudia. Was
oh,
that-
you put it in there?
And I believe it was on your desk. Okay. This is in the garage instead of being in the office here, as it says?
What is
there? Not in the office, but in here.
No, it stays back here.
All right.
That's every shut-off at Bellmont.
Oh.
Yeah, because he really struggled with trying to get that shut off at the, firehouse. Yeah, yeah. And then, also, Chris, I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but we
No,
have a
it's not
digital, printout too. Not printout, but a digital recording of all the maps.
No.
And it's on a USB drive back there.
Oh.
So, we can get a copy of it for you to keep at your, facility too. We need to do
Yeah,
that.
well,
But,
I do have this, though.
yeah. Okay.
Top drawer of that desk over there in the very back.
Can you get to that desk? Can you now? I know, but I usually stepping on a tractor, trying to go that way.
You ain't been back here, other than that.
No, not this week.
Here.
This is a rough week.
The chainsaws are up on the shelf.
Oh, okay. And the blower?
I ain't been shelf ready yet.
Okay.
I did a lot in here because it rained all day.
Okay, all right.
And a lot of stuff got thrown away, empty containers off the shelf.
Yeah,
Stuff that, if it was usable, that we don't use, that somebody might be looking for some year, it's in a box, I'll fill it
okay,
up on the top.
all right.
I didn't find the map, sorry.
Okay. On the budget,
I got a question.
yes, sir?
Is this an accurate, golf cart fees? $12,676.
Miscellaneous income, is that a typo? I think it's a typo on her part.
That's a lot of cash.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, when I saw it the first time, it was $126.
That'd be,
Yeah,
That'd be about right, like 126.
it was 126 because it was,
that'd be a lot closer.
it was 126, Claudia, so that's correct there on the miscellaneous income golf cart. On the first page.
Yeah, but I'm looking to see what it was on the trial balance. There were two different funds, golf carts and something else that were combined.
Well, we have no miscellaneous income of $12,676.